Hello, everyone. I am Gisele Ingrid Gadotti. I'm professor in Environmental Science program. And today, we are welcome to this journal. Today, we are privileged to delve into the depths in this environmental science seminar. We stand at the intersection of environmental challenges and innovation solutions of our students. They are talk a little bit, our speakers here will be talk a little bit about their projects or their ideas. And in this first stage, we are, first of all, we are invite Professor Pascal Silas Tui, our invited professor here, to talk a little bit and introduce yourself. Please, Pascal, feel free.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Gisele. It is my pleasure and a privilege, as I always said with the students, and to share this wonderful experience, not only in the university, but concerning this program of post-graduation. So I'm very glad to be a part of this moment in their life. I have given, in some maybe 2 weeks, I have been speaking with them and trying to share with them about my own experience as a student when I was, and also about my research. So my name is Pascal Silas Tue. I'm Cameroonian, and I'm here in Brazil. It has been like 8 years now. I did my PhD in chemistry, so I'm a chemist. But I also have a background in environmental sciences because I really couple both environmental sciences and chemistry. I hope that they work together. So as Professor Gisele extend this invitation for me to share this discipline, I would say, or this class with Arthur and Natalie, I just want to say that it was a great pleasure, and thanks once again, Professor Gisele, for this invitation. And I really like to share this moment with them, not only about the language, but specifically about their research. So that is a few introduction that I want to share with people. Thank you so much for the floor that you gave me.
Thank you. Imagine. This is a great opportunity for us. You are, an amazing person and also professor. So for us, it's a big pleasure that you are here with us. And also, I need to explain that this course, it is a course in Universidade Federal de Pelotas. So a course that we speak in English and also in Portuguese. So it's a bilingual course. And the idea here is that the students talk a little bit in English and try to talk in English in this environmental, in the university environmental. That this is the idea, and we are trying to do more this. So today is the last day of our course, and then in the last day we have just a seminary that we are in 13 or 14 classes that we are trying to do a warm-up of these students to talk a little bit in English. And of course, for me also, because I have nobody except Pascal nowadays that we talk English a little bit in during the class. So the idea here is that the students can talk a little bit. So it's not an English class. We use the idea of English of a medium of instruction. So we are not English professors, we are environmental science professors here. And the idea that we speak a little bit in English or speak both in English and Portuguese. This is the idea. So I like to introduce Arthur, one of our students here. Hi, Arthur.
Hello,
So,
Professor. How are you?
fine, fine, Arthur. So I wanted that you introduce yourself, and I put also I'm put your work here, and feel free have the time you need to explain the idea of your project here. Okay?
Okay, so do I have the control of the slides?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you can go and come back. The same in your. I see. We are with your.
Your presentation is there.
Yeah. For you, no.
Well, it seems that I cannot control the slides. I cannot go forwards or backwards.
You can do again. Take off and
Okay,
maybe the Natalie is here also. Maybe this is the problem. But was no problem. Go again. Okay. We can see just now.
maybe I'll have to control through here.
No, that's okay. Now you can go.
Okay, let me try it. No. Okay.
Travou de novo?
Okay, so I think I'm all set up. So
Yes.
first of all, I'd like to thank Giselle and Professor Pascal for the presence here and to carry this discipline of environmental science seminar. And I would also like to thank my colleague Natalie for being here today and to the friendship that we developed through a whole year of the program. So the presentation that I bring you guys here today is my dissertation project, which is oriented by my supervisor, Professor Érico Cunha Correa, and it's called Toxicity Assessment of Hormones and Antibiotics on Seeds. Okay, so first, it's important to understand a little bit of the reality of sanitation in Brazil. So we can take industrial revolutions such as the first mark of the technology developments, such as city growth, and these marks, they came also with a lot of environmental impacts, such as water pollution, generation of solid wastes, and contamination of soils, and other environmental impacts. So more about the water pollution. I bring you guys a few data that I collected in data from a few, how can I say that? An institution here in Brazil of research, for example. And the data that I bring is called a sewage coverage index, which is an index that expresses how much sanitation do we have in our regions in Brazil. So in the left, we have total sewage coverage index, and in the right, we have urban sewage coverage index. In the total sewage coverage index, we have two regions. We have the urban region and also the region that we have farms and the rural regions in Brazil. And in the right, urban region is especially regions of the cities. So in the north region, we have a total sewage coverage index of 14% and urban sewage coverage index of 18.4%. We can see that this index is very, very, very low. In another perspective, we have another region, which is the northeast region of Brazil, with a total sewage coverage index of 30.2% and urban sewage coverage index of 39.2%. It is a much more positive perspective than the north region of Brazil, but it is still a very low index from what we desire for our countries, for our country. In another perspective, we have the Middle West region in Brazil with a total sewage coverage index of 61.9% and urban sewage coverage index of 68.4%. It is a much more positive reality when compared to the North region and the Northeast region of Brazil, but it's still not what we actually want. We have now the Southeast region of Brazil, which is the most developed region in our country, with the total sewage coverage index of 81.7% and urban sewage coverage index of 85.9%. From all regions, this is the region with the highest index, but still not the ideal, which is, in my opinion, 100%. The last region is the South region, the region that we are located in, with a total sewage coverage index of 48.4% and urban sewage coverage index of 55.3%. So our region is located in the middle between the North region and the Southeast region and the Middle West region and Southeast region. In this image, we can see the same index, but we can see it in two different perspectives. In a perspective which the states of Brazil have a sewage coverage index less than 20% and a sewage coverage index higher than 90%. States that have this sewage coverage index less than 20%, we have Maranhão, Amazonas, Acre, Pará, Rondônia, e Amapá. And states with a sewage coverage index higher than 90%, we have states such as São Paulo and Distrito Federal. In this image, we can see the reality of our country for all states. In this image, we can see the sewage coverage index divided by cities in our countries. So the lightest colors, they express a lower sewage coverage index. So we can see that the North region is the region which has the lowest sewage coverage index, and the darker colors, such as the colors located in the Middle West and Southeast regions of Brazil, is the colors with the highest sewage coverage index. So we need to talk about another index or another rate, which is the sewage collection and treatment rate. So to understand about collection, treatment, and distribution of raw water, and also the treatment and disposal of effluent, we have to understand how this image works. So water is collected from the water bodies, then the water is transported to a water treatment plant. In the water treatment plant, the water is treated chemically, physically, and in a few times biologically. Then we have treated water, which is distributed through a net of distribution to houses, to the industries, hospitals, and other places. In these places, water is consumed, and after the consumption of water, we generate the sewage. Sewage can be wrongly disposed directly in the environment. Part of the sewage can be collected. part of the sewage that is collected can be treated, and part of it might not be treated and wrongly disposed. But part of the sewage which is treated is transported to a sewage treatment plant, where the sewage go through different chemical, biological, and physical processes, and then we have treated sewage, which is correctly disposed into the water bodies accordingly to Brazilian legislation. So in this image, we can see two different informations, such as the volume of collected sewage and also the volume of consumed water. In blue, we can see consumed water, and in brown, we can see collected sewage. So we can see that we have much more consumed water than collected sewage. And from 2017 to 2021, the numbers are significantly growing. We can see the same information about collected sewage and consumed water, but now we can see it through each region of Brazil. And the region which has the highest sewage collection and treatment rate is the Southeast region. We can see now a different information, which is a comparison between treated sewage and collected sewage. So we have a much higher volume of collected sewage and a much lower volume of treated sewage. And but a positive thing we can see is that from year to year, we see that the volume of treated sewage is growing, and it's becoming much closer to the volume of collected sewage. We can see the same information, but now for each region of Brazil: North, Northeast, Southeast, South, and Middle West, which the Southeast region is the region with the highest sewage collection and treatment rate. In this image, we can see the three information we were talking about earlier, which are the volume of consumed water, volume of collected sewage, and volume of treated sewage. So the highest volume we have will always be consumed water, and after that we have collected sewage and less treated sewage. So why am I talking about these information of consumed water, sewage treatment, and sewage collection? Because accordingly to Raimundo in 2011, the main pathway for the input of emerging contaminants of concern into Brazilian waters is not associated with the contribution from effluent treatment plants, but from raw sewage. So it is important for us to understand what are these contaminants of emerging concern. So contaminants of emerging concern are substances, both natural or synthetic, largely unregulated, but may be candidates for future regulation depending on research into potential health effects and monitoring results of their occurrence in the environment. Contaminants of emerging concern, they can be divided into groups. So the first group are the active pharmaceutical compounds, such as hormones, antibiotics, and anti-inflammatories. The second group, the personal care products, such as phthalates, such as deodorants, parabens, such as shampoos and perfumes. We also have agrotoxics, which in English it is translated into pesticides. We also have herbicides and insecticides. We have microplastic, which is a contaminant of emerging concern, very important nowadays. A lot of researchers and professors in the universities and also in congresses are talking about this contaminant of emerging concern. Other groups, but not less important, we have illicit drugs, we have byproducts of water disinfection processes, industrial products, we have microorganisms, and also the toxins produced by a few microorganisms. So what are the concerns about these emerging contaminants into the Brazilian water? The first concern is about the exposure of biota and humans to these compounds, where through recreational activities or through ingestion or demo absorption, they can be harmed. And the second concern is about the potential of contamination of water resources with the transfer of these contaminants into the water treatment plants, and after that, the transportation of this water into the public consumption or public supply. So there is this area of science which is called environmental toxicology that can help us understand and prevent these events, these bad events, to happen to humans and to the environment. And also, all these context that I've been bringing to you guys is very intimate, related to the objectives of the sustainable objective goals of the to the objective number 6, which is potable water and sanitation. So the objective number 6 is to ensure the availability and sustainable management of clean water and sanitation for all. More specifically, we have the objective 6.3 that says that by 2030, to improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating discharge, and minimizing the release of hazardous chemicals and materials, to halve the proportion of untreated wastewater, and substantially increase recycling and safe global reuse. So the main objective of my research is to conduct an evaluation of the toxicity of hormones and antibiotics through phytotoxicity, cytotoxicity, and genotoxicity assays. More specifically, to evaluate the phytotoxicity of hormones and antibiotics in lettuce, cucumber, cockscomb, rice, soybean, wheat, and onion seeds through the seed germination index. And also to investigate the occurrence of cytotoxicity effects of hormones and antibiotics in onion seeds, and to investigate the occurrence of genotoxic effects of hormones and antibiotics in onion seeds. A few hypotheses that I brought. So the first one, that hormones and antibiotics can inhibit seed germination. Hormones and antibiotics can accelerate or promote seed growth. They can be cytotoxic or damage certain cellular components. They can damage the genetic material of seeds. And the exposure to hormones and antibiotics can lead to the development of chromosomal alterations. So that this research can happen, it is needed to be conducted experiments. So the place that these experiments will be conducted is the Center of Engineering of the University of Pelotas, more specifically in the laboratory of Núcleo de Educação, Pesquisa e Extensão em Resíduos e Sustentabilidade, NEPERS. So how are these experiments going to be conducted? They're going to be conducted into 4 steps. The first step, it is going to be prepared solutions with the contaminants pre-selected, and then these solutions will be stored in refrigerators. Step 2, it's going to be conducted the phytotoxicity assays in all bioindicators pre-selected and pointed in the main objective of this research. In the step 3, it's going to be conducted the cytotoxicity assays in onion seeds. And step 4, the genotoxicity assays also in onion seeds. The first step, the preparation of solution at different concentrations. It is going to be used hormones such as 17-alpha ethanoestradiol and 17-beta ethanoestradiol, and the antibiotics tetracycline and amoxicillin. Step 2, the phytotoxicity assays. The bioindicators that are going to be used are Lactuca sativa, or lettuce seed, Cucumis sativus, or cucumber seed, Celosia argentea, or coxcomb seed, Oryza sativa, rice seed, Glycine max, soybean seed, Triticum spp, wheat seed, and Allium cepa, onion seed. In the steps 3 and 4, which are the cytotoxicity and genotoxicity assays, the seeds of Allium cepa, they're going to be prepared with the sectioning of the meristematic tissues and also the preparation of microscopic slides. After that, the verification of the phases of cell division are going to be verified, which are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. After that is going to be calculated the mitotic index through the formula we can see, which is IM equals NCDC divided by NT. And then the last thing is going to be noted or verified the frequency of chromosomal alterations, FCA, which are loss of chromosomes, wandering chromosome, sticky chromosome, induced abortive nuclear division, binuclear, and micronuclear. A few expected results. It might be expected the reduction, the inhibition, or promotion of seed germination. It expected variations in root growth in response to different concentrations of contaminants, variations in cell division phases, variation in mitotic indexes, and the occurrence of chromosomal alterations. These are a few of the references that I used to develop this presentation. Thank you for your attention. I'm Artu, and I'm an environmental sanitary engineer, and I'm open to questions.
Okay. Again, Arthur, thank you, because I have done these questions for you, the presentation twice in our group. So sometimes it's very hard to do this 2 times, and you and Natalie, is not 2 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, because the seminário in Portuguese also. So I think that you know every single word that you present now. But I'm very impressed of your work. It's a very important issue. Sewage is a problem in Brazil. You know this, and for me, it's very sad that we are still so slow in treated sewage, because this is very important for be a healthy country. And also, it's very impressed that hormones and antibiotics could still, have this possibility um, to be active. The active principle is still working after so many days, in the water, in the sewage, or in our body, and also in the sewage after that. So I think it's very important work to do. And also, I'm very impressed of how many assays you need to do in your work. you know it, we can see a very hard work that you are doing, because you are just begin this work. So, Pascal and Arthur, what do you want to say a little bit? And Natalie also.
I was just close my phone here. So, first of all, I want to congratulate, my congratulations to Arthur. So you have improved, your presentation since the last, last Tuesday, last week. So that is very nice. And as always we said, you are fluent and not only in the English, but you have the dominion of the topic that you are talking about. That is something which is very important, having the confidence when you are presenting your work. So, and for me, it was also clear. That's why I want to congratulate you. The topic is actual. The topic is actual, and we find this kind of problem in the developing country. We still have a lot to do about the treatment of the sewage and the treatment even of the water contaminations. And when you talk about emerging contaminants, especially for drinking water, I'm also concerned because I have been working on that, about the removal of contaminants in drinking in water in general. So it's not it is antibiotics, it is phenols compounds, and also dyes products. Dyes also bring a lot of problem nowadays. So uh, as I said, your work is very nice, and I just want to encourage you. As Professor Gisele was saying, I don't know how many experiments you are going to you are going to perform, but the idea is nice. The idea is very good, and hopefully that you are going to go until the end and bring a lot of results. The idea is not only to publish, but to bring a real solution for the problem that we do have, especially in our developing countries. So I see that your work, have a good outcome, and hopefully that at the end of it, our government will be able to not put in the cupboard your works, but try to bring it out and try to to test it, in the real treatment of or as a real solutions. So that was very nice. I just have to say congratulations, and I do not have so much as I said last time, because I have already listened you the first time. So, and this one, as I said in the seminary when we were together and trying to sharing together, as I said to you that repetition is the mother of science. That is true. So the more you're going to train it, the more you are going to share your idea, even for yourself. You are going to have the clear view about what you are going to do, and if there is something to change, you are going to gain more confidence, as I always said. And that is good, because you have this confidence sharing your work, and the idea, building more the sentences. The things was very nice. So my congratulations once again.
Okay. Thank you,
Arthur,
Professor.
I don't understand anything of your work, just the seeds. And I can understand the phytotoxin of the seeds. If you can, if I can help you, very interesting to see how a type of, phytotoxin can happen with your seeds, But please, come on, for me is just crazy. But thank you, Arthur. It was amazing. Nathalie, feel free para falar português também, né?
Ah,
Então, eu queria agradecer aqui a Nathalie, né? De ter vindo, de ter tentado aqui, ela está treinando bastante. So, Arthur, can take off your presentation, please? E aí vamos para a apresentação da Nathalie. It's a very interesting topic as well. So, Nathalie, feel free to present for us your work, please.
Ok.
Thank you, Arthur. See you. Com você, Nathalie. Se apresente, por favor, primeiro.
Obrigada. My name is Nathalie Matos. Para essa disciplina, no caso de seminário de Ciências Ambientais, eu vou apresentar o trabalho, Working, Evaluation, Wolfen Solvent, Reuse as Sustainable Strategy for Extraction and Determination Wolfen Extractive Impact One Quality and Consistency Wolfen Result. Within the participation, no caso, Wolfen Chichens, Patrícia Soares, e Daci Alberto Gato. Currently, environmental concerns are growing, bringing up issues such as the extraction of chemical compounds and the excessive using often solvent in industrial and laboratory processes. One example is the world industry facing challenge within the formation often one cerebral deposit no speech wetting are compound terpenes compounds terpenoides and phenolics. Considerate is extractives e de removal para remover envolves they use often solvents like toluene, a toxic solvent that increase environmental challenges. Therefore, is need to removing methods and the legends the environmental impact. One approach is the reuse of the solvent. However, the reuse often solvent raising questions about effectiveness, field when the overall environmental impact on the often range the pursuit often solvent reuse alignings, que se alinha, no caso, a ODS 12 da ONU, emphasizing responsible consumption and production for a more sustainable fuels. The objectives is to explore the importance of solvent reuse in extraction, investigate the impact on analytical quality and result consistency and data integrity. Sobre a metodologia, no caso, sobre sample selection. For this starting, we used Western Day peels of fruits from sapcaia and castanha do Pará, nanite species collected in the municipality Altamira, Pará. Já a preparação, que é o sample preparation, this one cleaned, dried and ground in a tape mill before being sent to the laboratory. In the laboratory, we conduct extraction of extractives using toluene e etanol, often to one following the tap to handle and for 97 standard to separation extractive from solvent. We used a rotary evaporator, Heidoff laborata for 1000 to control H18 degrees and the 18 RPM. The sample was bem sent to one oven at again 50 degrees for front evaluation while solvents were purified and stored for analysis. Experiment were conducted in triplicate em 3. A estatística, ela é uma statistical analysis envolve a nova with tanker test at a 5% significância level de for resultado comparação. Que são o resultado, os resultados. Ringuard, the result é shown In Table 1, the extractive content analysis revealed values of 5 points, 64% when the 16 points, 71% for commercial and reuse. Reuse solvent, respectively. Cheese values for reused solvent reagent from 6.27, 13.37, staticals for similar when compared on solvents for the same species, but different between species with Sapucaia showing higher values compared to para Castanha do Pará. Literature values for Castanha do Pará nut extractive compte vary with observed values of 16.97 for Sapucaia, differing from G's starting finding the speech, allowing values for Castanha do Pará. G's variation might depend on species, geographic, and climatic factors, genetic variation among species, and even within species. It was found parte de diferentes solvents did not play a significant role in determining a extractives. This finding suggests the potential for reusing cheese species is there was no interference in the conductation chemical analysis or the consistency of obtaining data. Em conclusão, this working indicate that for extractive content between species Sapucaia, ela apresentou significantly high values than Castanha do Pará. O results for extractives content between commercial and reuse solvent of Castanha do Pará and Sapucaia pericarpes. Thank you. Tá sem som.
Natalie, sorry. Natalie, I don't know if I say to you, but it's very impressive your effort, seu esforço to be here, you know, because you are far away of your home, you know. You are very you know, a student that we see how you try, how you are hard work. I see very hard work in your presentation. Eu vou dizer em português, às vezes a gente puxa o aluno que dá retorno. And I am very happy and your results. You know, you every single week, and if we have more 4 weeks, you perfectly speak English very well. So try also again, you know. It's very important. Oh, sorry. It's very important for a student, a master degree student, to speak in English, to understand the English. And I know that you are reading very well, you are understand the papers very well, and I know if you give a little bit more effort, you can speak English very well. And for you that live in Pará, you know, in Amazonia, with a lot of you know, uh, there are a lot of European people there. You know this, you know, very interesting about nuts or every single tree and plants that has in Amazonia. And it's important for you, for your growing as a professional growing, to speak English. And I know that you can, because for 2 or 3 weeks you are growing, you are trying, and I see your effort every single week. So I'm very happy with these results, you know, Natalie. And another thing, your work is very important for me, because castanha do Pará or Brazil nuts is very known, but sapucaia, if you never see a sapucaia tree is beautiful. You know, it's just a, a, a beautiful tree, an impressive tree, and everybody need to see a sapucaia tree. And imagine that sapucaia has this important as well, Brazil nuts. It's very interesting to know it, to understand. So I'm very happy of your results and your effort. And I don't know, Pascal, if you want to say something for Natalie.
Well, meus parabéns, Natália, pelo esforço na sua apresentação. Né, a gente vê, né, como a professora Gisele estava falando, esse esforço que tu vai dando, né, a cada apresentação, e mesmo no momento que tu está apresentando, aí a gente consegue ver que ela busca, parece um disco que está procurando as palavras, e isso que é bom, porque a mente ela vai justamente se esforçando e ela está trabalhando. E a mente que trabalha, com certeza, ela guarda as coisas ao mesmo tempo. Então, eu tenho, como a professora estava falando, a convicção que se você se dedicar só um pouquinho mais, entende muito bem, a compreensão é boa, consegue ler os artigos e entender. Então, a parte da comunicação, se trabalhar um pouco mais ali, olha, como a professora falou, se a gente tivesse ainda 4 semanas, com certeza daria uma melhorada, assim, bastante, né? So, I want to once again, to my congratulations for your presentation. This presentation was very better than the previous one, and that is actually what is good, because growing is that you are better than yesterday. That is what is more important. And I can see that you were better in this presentation than the previous one. So that's why I give you I said congratulations. As one president, American president, he said, I hope that it was Barack Obama, he said, yes, we can. And I will say, yes, Natalie, you can also. Yeah, right. So my congratulations, just move on. Do not stop here after the seminary. Continue, letting your mind working. And I'm very sure that in very short periods, you will be able to express yourself very well. So that was very nice, very good. Also, because you have, I hope, the expectation to travel, to go outside. I hope that with this vocabulary that you are gaining, and also the confidence, do not forget that, as I said to Atu, that you are gaining the confidence in sharing your work before people. That is very important. That is very important. You are gaining more confidence in sharing your work. And so even if you have a scholarship, to go outside, you will have this, or you will already have confidence. That's why I said last time to Professor Shizeli that this class is very good, very good. That we do not find it in many programs. This discipline is very important for the students, to have this confidence sharing their work with other researchers in the world. Those who will come, and trying to say something, and you will, it will be very nice. You have confidence to sharing with the people your work, speaking about your research, about the sapukaya trees, about the experiments, how you are going to carry those experiments in the lab, about the equipment, the apparatus of the lab. That's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. So my congratulations, just move on.
Não, eu queria agradecer, né? Eu acho que esse semestre foi um semestre complicado, cheio de dias que a gente não conseguiu se ver, né? Um semestre que a gente fez todo online, né? Também é complicado, porque quando a gente está na presença, eu acho que a gente faz mais coisas. Mas eu queria agradecer vocês. Eu acho que a gente conseguiu concluir com sucesso o objetivo, que era tentar falar inglês nesse ambiente universitário, né? Tentar criar um ambiente mais propositivo para essa língua, que é a língua da ciência. E eu realmente estou muito feliz com o retorno. Estou muito feliz mesmo, né? Por Arthur, que ele já tinha esse background, né? E pôde retornar, e pela Nathalie, que teve a coragem de chegar aqui, de falar, de ir, né? E de melhorar a cada dia. Então, eu realmente acho, né? Eu já falei isso para o Arthur, né? Vocês têm que sair para o doutorado, e vocês têm que sair, no mínimo, para um doutorado sanduíche, né? O Arthur, porque ele já morou fora, e a Nathalie, porque você é de um lugar onde o mundo quer conhecer, Nathalie, né? Então, todo mundo quer conhecer, todo mundo quer estudar, tem muitas oportunidades, a gente conhece muito pouco. Então, querendo ou não, eu espero que essa disciplina, mesmo com o desgaste, mesmo com tudo que não é fácil estar aqui se expondo, traga isso como positivo para vocês, tá bom? E eu quero que vocês tenham boas festas, tá? Se vocês forem para casa, que aproveitem seus amigos e familiares. Se vocês não estiverem, então, sejam bem-vindos. Aos que não vão ver os parentes nas festas, né? Estaremos aqui, e ainda bem, né? O Pascal, acho que também vai ser um dos que não vão ver os parentes nas festas.
Com certeza.
E aí estaremos aqui também, eu também não estarei, eu só irei vê-los em janeiro, faz parte da brincadeira de morar longe, né, e trabalhar longe de casa, mas eu realmente fico muito feliz, e o que vocês precisarem de mim, o que a gente brinquei com o Arthur, né, que eu que eu sei de semente, sei de fitotoxicidade, não entendo nada, né? Você talvez eu entenda alguma coisa de extração de solvente, mas eu nunca vi uma sapucaia, e depois que você apresentou, eu fui lá ver. É uma árvore linda, frondosa, né? Colorida, né? Um rosa lindíssimo. E, né? Então, eu acho que é tão legal a gente aprender coisas novas, e vocês me ensinaram muitas coisas novas também, eu fico muito feliz. E eu fico muito feliz também do Pascal estar aqui, ter encarado, assim, né, um colega recém-chegado, né? Obrigada, Pascal, pela parceria, pelo ambiente amigável e familiar, você é uma pessoa muito especial, e parabéns para esses dois, eu acho que a gente tem que ter palminhas, porque acabou o semestre, gente, tá?
Sim.
Acabou. Beijo para vocês aí. Né?
Tirou a foto final ali?
Vai ter fotos finais para a gente curtir esse final de semestre, entendeu? Um mate para vocês, um café para quem for, né? Tomem um drink aí, né? Tá fazendo calor, gente.
Né?
Tá fazendo.
Então vamos aproveitar.
Hoje tá, Carol. Tá certo, então.
Então tá, gente. Tchau, muito obrigado.
Tchau.
E até a próxima, tá?
Tchau, pessoal. Obrigado.